A very good afternoon. You're watching the Midday News on Rajya television, where we get you the biggest developing news stories at the top of this hour. I'm Ashwara, and these are the headlines. Supreme Court allows manufacture and sale of green firecrackers with low emission across the country. Fixes 8 to 10 p.m. time for bursting them. Asks Centre to encourage community cracker bursting during Diwali and other festivals. India lodges strong protest with Pakistan over killing of 3 soldiers during an attempted infiltration bid in Sundarbani sector in Jammu and Kashmir. MEA issues a démarche to senior official of Pakistan High Commission. 1,591 incidents of ceasefire violations by Pakistan so far in 2018. Last day of filing nomination for Chhattisgarh Assembly elections today. 18 constituencies in 8 Naxal-hit districts in the state will vote in the first phase of polling on 12th of November. Jamal Khashoggi death, a result of a plot gone awry, says US President Donald Trump. Saudi Foreign Minister says something like this can never happen again, as the Turkish president prepares to detail his own country's findings about the journalist's death inside Saudi consulate in Istanbul. And Indian men's hockey team take on Malaysia in their 4th match at the Asian Champions Trophy in Muscat. Shuttlers Kidambi Shrikant, PV Sindhu and Saina Nehwal eye first major title of the year as a French Open Badminton tournament kickstarts in Paris today. The biggest story this afternoon, the Supreme Court has refused to impose a nationwide blanket ban on the sale of firecrackers. In its verdict today, the court only permitted the sale and manufacture of green firecrackers, which have low emission across the country. In its order, the court banned the online sale of firecrackers and put a stay on e-commerce portals from selling them. A bench comprising Justices Ashok Bhushan and A.K. Sikri fixed the 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. time period for the bursting of firecrackers on Diwali and other festivals. And on New Year and Christmas, the timing is from 11:45 p.m. to 12:15 a.m. The court also directed all the states to explore the feasibility of community cracker bursting during the festivals. The top court's order came on a plea seeking a ban on the manufacture and sale of firecrackers across the country to curb air pollution.
पहले ये जो टाइम था सिर्फ 10 बजे के बाद पटाखे नहीं चल सकते थे, लेकिन अब ये टाइम घटा के 2 घंटे कर दिया है 8 और 10 के बीच में। ये बहुत बड़ी हमारे लिए सफलता की बात है, लोगों के लिए भी। और दूसरी चीज़ ये कही है कि जो जितने बम बनते हैं, जो पटाखे बनते हैं, उसमें जो मटेरियल यूज़ होता है, जैसे बेरियम, जैसे सल्फर, एल्यूमिनियम, पोटेशियम, तो इसकी मात्रा उतनी रहेगी जितनी कि पैसों, एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है पैसों, उसका जो प्रिस्क्रिप्शन है यानी वो प्रिस्क्राइब करती है, उतनी मात्रा में वो गन पाउडर वगैरह डलेगा। उससे ज़्यादा डलेगा तो पुलिस एक्शन ले सकती है।
दुकानदार व्यापारियों की तरफ से जो भी उच्च न्याय फैसला दिया, अच्छा दिया, और मैं चाहूँगा कि इस फैसले को मानते हुए जो आदेश हमें मिलेगा हम उसका पालन करेंगे।
अगर उन्होंने कहा बड़ी आइटम जैसे बंद करो, हम सारी हटवा के भेज देंगे मैगजीन में। अपने यहाँ पर जो आइटम हो गए वो छोटी आइटम हम बेचेंगे।
सुप्रीम कोर्ट का हम धन्यवाद भी देते हैं कि हम जिस तरह की कंडीशंस देंगे, हम हर चीज़ के लिए एग्री हैं।
And on to the other big story, the Supreme Court will hear on 13th of November the petitions seeking a review of the verdict allowing the entry of women of all age groups into Sabrimala temple in Kerala. A bench comprising Chief Justice Ranjan Gogoi and Justice S.K. Kaul told lawyer Matthews J. Nedumpara that it has already passed an order with regard to listing of petitions on 13th of November. And earlier, the court had noted that there were 19 review petitions pending in the matter filed by National Ayappa Devotees Association and others seeking a review of its verdict. A 5-judge constitution bench by a ratio of 4:1 had held that women of all age groups should be allowed entry into Kerala's Sabrimala temple. The temple closed yesterday after the 5-day monthly prayers. And during the time, no women were allowed entry into the temple. And it will open again on 17th of November for a 3-month-long annual pilgrimage. And the Supreme Court today referred to a 5-judge constitution bench, a plea seeking collegium-like selection process for the appointing of Chief Election Commissioner and Election Commissioners. A bench comprising Chief Justice Ranjan Gogoi considered the submissions raised by lawyer Prashant Bhushan and said that the issue of appointment of CEC and ECs has to be taken up by a larger constitution bench. The bench was hearing a PIL seeking a transparent selection process for the appointment of election commissioners in the poll panel. The centre, represented by Attorney General K.K. Venugopal, however, opposed the petition, saying that so far no case of abuse of official position by the CEC had come forward. And India today lodged a strong protest with Pakistan over the fatal casualties of 3 Indian soldiers during an attempted cross-border infiltration on 21st of October in the Sundarbani sector in Jammu and Kashmir. A senior official in the High Commission for Pakistan in New Delhi was summoned to the Ministry of External Affairs and a démarche was issued. The official was also informed that 2 Pakistani armed intruders have been killed by the Indian security forces during the ensuing gunfight, and the government of Pakistan take custody of those dead bodies of its nationals. The ministry condemned in the strongest terms such provocative action by Pakistan. It said that it reveals their complicity in aiding and abetting terrorism and exposes the hollowness of Pakistan's deceitful claims to promote constructive engagement and desire for peace. The MEA said that India's grave concern at the continuing incidents of unprovoked ceasefire violations by Pakistan forces along the line of control and the international border was also shared. The MEA said that despite repeated calls for restraint and adherence to the ceasefire understanding of 2003, Pakistani forces have carried out 1,591 incidents of unprovoked ceasefire violations along the LOC and IB so far in 2018. Pakistan was called on to abide by its bilateral commitment not to allow any territory under its control to be used to support terrorism against India in any manner. And Home Minister Rajnath Singh is on a visit to Jammu and Kashmir today. He will be holding a review meeting on the security situation in the state. Rajnath Singh met the governor of Jammu and Kashmir, Satyapal Malik, a short while back. He is also expected to take a stock of the overall situation following the recently held municipal elections in the state and the ground situation in Kashmir following killings in South Kashmir's Kulgam district on Sunday. The authorities have decided to suspend classes in all educational institutions in Srinagar, Bandipora, Kupwara districts. Besides, educational institutions from class 11th to college level are closed today in Anantnag, Pulwama, Shopian, Baramulla and Sopore. On to some other news, President Ramnath Kovind addressed the convocation ceremony of Symbiosis International University in Pune today. He said that no gender boundaries exist as he commended the academic performances of girl students.
Your education gives you responsibility to help those less privileged and less fortunate. How you choose to do this is entirely up to you, but do remember that your empathy to fellow citizens is as much a test of your scholarship as your mark sheet or your degree. One of my findings has been that the academic performance of girl students tends to exceed that of the boys. This is commendable and a happy sign for our society. Knowledge has no gender boundaries, neither does it have geographical boundaries.
And Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu today addressed the 13th convocation ceremony of the Jamia Hamdard University in Delhi and giving away degrees to the graduating students. The Vice President said that it is heartening to know that Hamdard currently has an enrollment of almost 50% female students in its Hamdard programs. He added that educating girls of all sections of society has been an area of great priority for the current government. He also said that it is a matter of great concern that in India, the average female literacy rate is 65.46%, while the world average female literacy rate is 79.7%. The Vice President underlined that like Swachh Bharat became a mass movement, empowering the girl child should also become a mass movement.
In majority of the universities, the gold medalists, 60% above are girl students. That's a very happy indicator. We have to make this as a mass movement. Sriman Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji, Purva Pradhan Mantri, Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan is started at that time. Now, successive governments also has encouraged it. Now the present Prime Minister has taken up this Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao and Beti Badhao. That's the campaign. I am sure it's catching up, it will catch up further because that is the future.
In midday news, we'll take a very short break. Stay tuned for more news and updates. Let's get to all the election-related news, and today is the last date for filing nominations for the first phase of the elections in Chhattisgarh, scheduled on 12th of November. Chief Minister Raman Singh will today file the nomination from Rajnath Assembly constituency in the presence of senior party leaders and Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath. The scrutiny of the nominations will be completed on 24th of October, while nominations can be withdrawn till 26th of October. The first phase will see 18 constituencies in 8 Naxal-hit districts going to the polls. The second phase will be held on 20th of November and the results will be out on 11th of December. And in related news, the Congress party has released its second list of candidates for the first phase of Chhattisgarh Assembly elections. The party has fielded Karuna Shukla from Rajnath Assembly constituency in Chhattisgarh against Chief Minister Raman Singh. In the second list, the Congress party declared its candidates for the remaining 6 constituencies. The party earlier declared candidates for 12 seats. The first phase of the assembly election will be held on 12th of November. The Congress is out of power in Chhattisgarh for the last 15 years. Meanwhile, the BJP on Monday announced its list of star campaigners for Chhattisgarh Assembly elections, and among the list of campaigners are Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Party President Amit Shah and other senior leaders. News from poll-bound Telangana now, where the Election Commission headed by CEC OP Rawat has begun the review of law and order situation and the preparations for the assembly elections in the state. It held a meeting with the state police nodal officers and the electoral officers of the state. The commission began reviewing the district election plans with the district electoral officers and superintendents of police. On Monday, the Election Commission also held a meeting with the representatives of political parties in Hyderabad to review preparations for the upcoming elections. It also held separate meetings with the representatives of all 9 parties, including the ruling TRS, BJP, BSP, CPI, CPM and the Congress party, among others. Telangana, remember, is scheduled to go to polls on 7th of December. And on to the other big story of the day. The Income Tax Department has launched a major operation to investigate cases of illegal funds and properties stashed abroad by Indians. The department may invoke the new anti-black money law for strict criminal action in many such cases. The department, in coordination with their foreign counterparts, is investigating offshore bank deposits and purchase of assets by thousands of Indians. The CBDT chairman, Sushil Chandra, confirmed the move, but he refused to elaborate. Officials, however, said that the taxman, armed with vital transaction details of overseas transactions from the financial intelligence units and other sources, is working on such cases across the country, and this was part of a major concerted action against black money. In a number of cases, notices have been issued to individuals or other category of taxpayers to explain their transactions. A number of these cases involve high-profile and prominent people, while several high-net-worth individuals are also under the scanner. However, only those cases will face criminal action under the new anti-black money law, which have not been reflected before the taxmen in the income tax returns or have been done with an intent to evade taxes. The government brought this new law, the Black Money Undisclosed Foreign Income and Assets and Imposition of Tax Act, in 2015. This new legislation has provisions for a steep 120% tax and penalty on undisclosed foreign assets and income, besides a jail term of up to 10 years. And for more news from across the country, let's go nationwide. 3 more persons tested positive for a Zika virus in Jaipur on Monday. This takes the total number of such cases in the state to 226. And out of these 126 patients, 111 have recovered after treatment. The Rajasthan Health Department's 5-member committee is investigating, examining and tracking Zika virus disease in pregnant patients. 39 positive cases of swine flu have so far been registered in Puducherry. Officials of the health department have been kept on high alert. The health minister held discussions with the director of health services and the officials of the public health wing of the department and reviewed the steps taken to prevent the spread of swine flu, dengue and chikungunya in Puducherry. The carcasses of 3 lion cubs were found from the outskirts of a village near the Gir Wildlife Sanctuary in Gujarat on Monday. And primary investigation has revealed that the 3 cubs in the age group of 4 to 5 months were killed by male lions during infighting between the prides to establish dominance. Earlier, last month, as many as 23 lions died in the forest, reportedly due to infighting and viral infection. Nearly 50,000 people have lost their lives between 2015 and 2017 on railway tracks after being hit by trains. According to official data from the Indian Railways, most of the deaths were reported from the Northern Railway Zone, followed by Southern Railway Zone and then the Eastern Railway Zone. And India and Japan will increase connectivity beyond the boundaries of the two countries. Accordingly, Japan is expected to invest in projects connecting India with Bhutan, Myanmar and Bangladesh. The contours of this project will be decided at the summit between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. Prime Minister Modi, remember, will be visiting Tokyo on 28th and 29th of October for the summit meeting. India and Japan are special strategic partners with an annual summit format on the lines with India and Russia. India and Japan share a joint vision for peace and prosperity in the Indo-Pacific and the world till 2025. Our correspondent Akhilesh Suman spoke to Japanese ambassador in India on the outcome of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit.
Ambassador, this might be the last summit meeting between Prime Minister Narendra Modi before 2019 election. So what important outcome do you see during this summit?
As usual, they'll have a very frank exchange of views in very strategic manner. And I hope that some concrete project, including security and connectivity agenda, will come out after their discussions. I'm hopeful that it will be another very successful meeting.
In economic field, it seems that Japan is a bit hesitant in investing in India. How do you think about it?
I don't agree with that. Japanese companies are very keen to support India's development. Japan is the biggest investors in the manufacturing sector. I know that many Japanese business leaders are very eager to invest in this country and partner with Indian companies.
So how do you think Quad might be discussed in this summit?
I think Quad is a very important mechanism, but Quad is one of the several mechanisms to support our Indo-Pacific vision. So our two prime ministers will discuss how to achieve our same goal. It means that this Indo-Pacific will be open, transparent and free and prosperous and inclusive. So in this way, two prime ministers will discuss how to achieve this common goal.
Thank you so much, Ambassador. So Ambassador is telling that this visit might see something new in India-Japan relationship, and that is the best thing between the two countries. Akhilesh Suman for Rajya Television with camera person Dusmanta in Delhi.
And now update on Indo-Myanmar relations with a view to create an atmosphere of peace and prosperity in the Rakhine region and curb distress migration. India and Myanmar signed an MOU on Monday. The MOU is for the appointment of a private port operator for the operation and maintenance of Sitwe Port, Paletwa Inland Water Terminal and associated facilities that are part of the Kaladan Multimodal Transit Transport Project. The MOU was signed during Foreign Secretary Vijay Gokhale's official Myanmar visit on Monday. Gokhale also called on the State Councillor Aung San Suu Kyi. The MOU is a significant step in the implementation of India's Act East policy, as its signing will enhance Myanmar's connectivity, including with India, and add to the development of the entire region, particularly in the Rakhine and Chin states of Myanmar. It would also add to local infrastructure capacity and help in creating more job opportunities for the local people there. And now an update on the death of journalist Jamal Khashoggi, and Saudi Arabia's foreign minister has said that the investigation into the killing of the journalist will pronounce the truth about what happened. He also pledged that mechanisms will be put in place so that something like this can never ever happen again. The Saudi foreign minister's statement came in Indonesia just hours before Turkey's President Erdogan was expected to detail his own country's findings into the death. Saudi Arabia has acknowledged that the journalist died on 2nd of October during a visit to the kingdom's consulate in Istanbul. It maintains that he died in a fist fight. And Turkish officials say that the 59-year-old journalist was attacked and was killed by a 15-man Saudi team. They say that the killing was a complicated murder that was planned. Meanwhile, US President Donald Trump has said that he believes that the death was the result of a plot gone awry. However, he opposed ending the $110 billion mega arms deal with Riyadh over the issue. A senior US official has held talks with Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince in Riyadh on Monday. Chinese President Xi Jinping officially opened the world's longest sea-crossing bridge. The Hong Kong-Zhuhai-Macau Bridge is made up of nearly 35 kilometers bridge and road sections, and also has a 6.7 kilometer tunnel. The crossing connects Hong Kong, Macau and Zhuhai, which are the three key coastal cities in southern China. The construction of the bridge started in December 2009 and was to be opened and completed in 2016. The 55-kilometer-long bridge is designed to withstand earthquakes and typhoons and was built using 4 lakh tons of steel. It will link the financial hub of Hong Kong to the relatively less developed western reaches of Pearl River Delta in Guangdong province, as well as the former Portuguese colony and gambling hub of Macau. The bridge costs about $20 billion. It will open to regular traffic on Wednesday. All the sporting action now. Indian men's hockey team will face Malaysia today in their 4th round-robin match of the Asians Champions Trophy in Muscat. The men in blue are unbeaten in the tournament so far. Earlier, India had defeated Japan 9-0 in their 3rd round-robin match, which was India's 3rd straight win in the tournament. India had earlier registered a convincing 11-0 win over hosts Oman in their opening game before beating arch rivals Pakistan 3-1 in their 2nd round-robin match. And after today's match, India will next meet South Korea on Wednesday, which will be their last and the final round-robin match. And the French Open Badminton tournament will kickstart in Paris today. The tournament will continue up to the 28th of this month. Indian shuttlers, including defending champion Kidambi Srikanth, PV Sindhu and Saina Nehwal, will be eyeing their first major title of the year after failing to win the recently concluded Denmark Open. Third seeded PV Sindhu will face Zhang Beiwen of China in the first round today, while Saina Nehwal will take on 37th seeded Saina Kawakami of Japan on Wednesday in the first round. And in the men's singles, Srikanth will face world number 22 Wong Wing Ki Winsett of China in the first round tomorrow. And in the mixed doubles, Ashwini Ponappa and Satvik Sairaj Ranki-Reddy will take on English duo of Chris Adcock and Gabriel Adcock in the first round. And that's it from me and my team in this edition of Midday News. Up ahead is Khabar Dopeher. Thanks for watching.